stop, you have to hit stop twice.
Oh, okay. Cool. Let me go check this, make sure, and I'll come back in here and hit go live. Thanks, Katie. All right, let's do some overnight weather here. More storm tracking. Ugh. Okay, here we go. All right, everybody, it's approaching midnight early on a Wednesday morning. Meteorologist David Glenn here. We're going to take you through at least parts of the overnight hours to keep you updated on what's happening out there. With our next round of showers and storms moving in, these aren't quite as strong as the earlier round, and let's be very thankful for that. But again, just wanted to keep you updated on what's happening out there. So let me send a few folks over to our other social media channels to get them updated, and we'll start here momentarily. But thanks for joining us as we continue this coverage through the overnight hours. Hope y'all are doing okay tonight. I know the first round of storms was pretty scary. A lot of folks still don't have power, so we're appreciate you joining us on your mobile devices. That's why we're here, though, to keep you updated. And let me share this over to my page. Again, folks, we're watching this next line of storms coming in. And again, now the first question many of you are going to be asking is, how bad is this? Well, this line is not quite as bad as the last few lines. Still a little bit noisy at times. And we'll cover this coming up momentarily. I'm just sharing this over to a few other pages for you. And I'll answer some of your questions as well. Okay, let me share this over my Twitter page, and we'll get started here. All right, my fans, thanks so much for joining us tonight. Here's the situation we have going on right now. Still tracking more showers and storms coming in from the north and west. You know, one little good news first. These storms, which are the strongest near Nashville, are gradually weakening. Yeah, they did have warnings associated with them, had stronger wind gusts right along I-40, but the previous storms rolling by have really zapped the atmosphere of a lot of energy. And that is why we saw this first round of rain here weaken quite a bit. There's still some downpours over northern Hamilton. And still some downpours of lightning near Crossville, but again, more stable here. A little less fuel, little more fuel back here right along and just west of 65. So this is the strongest on here. We'll keep an eye on what it does. Mainly the concern for the next few hours locally is repeated downpours and some occasional lightning. But this is the strongest one, which we'll watch, and there's no more warnings associated with that. So that's some very good news right now. Let me take you through where there is a severe thunderstorm watch in effect, and I'll show you the overview of that. It stretches from Nashville to about Huntsville, mostly in southern parts of Middle Tennessee. But locally, it only includes one county, that being Franklin County, out till 3 a.m. Eastern time. I don't think that threat will last that long, but, we'll keep an eye on that. I know that I'm looking at all the questions you guys have is when's it going to get to my location? When's it going to be here? I get that. But again, let me show you the whole situation again. We're not seeing the same threat level as earlier. Okay, so it's not going to have as strong of winds, not have the amount of lightning, and not be quite as severe. Okay, so I'm going to answer that right off the bat. Now, the problem here is that because we're dealing with a lot weaker energy over us, we'll have to wait and see in the next hour or two how much this weakens. So see, I noticed all of this just kind of broke up. So again, it's a much weaker atmosphere over us. So between now and 3 a.m., next 2 to 3 hours, these showers will make their way farther south and east, and hopeful that weakening trend will continue, okay? So hopefully that kind of answers your question on timing, and we'll kind of talk our way through that here as we follow all this. But thanks, everybody, for watching. Folks watching in Chickamauga and Saudi Daisy, Manchester, Fort Oglethorpe, Fairview. Thanks for watching. Yes, we'll keep you updated. Let's show you where it's raining now. This is not severe, but Saudi Daisy, Sail Creek up to Dayton, Snow Hill, Birchwood, getting some moderate showers. Do be aware of some flash flooding in spots. Yeah, that's going to be an issue because of the previous rain. Up near Crossville, a little bit of loud thunder, northern edge of Cumberland County, though not severe. And a bit more rain will come in from the north and west. Down over northern parts of Franklin County, where there is a severe thunderstorm watch in effect, it's a pretty noisy cell here. Notice again, kind of weakening a bit. We'll put the velocity scanner on it, show you the winds with it. Not much in the way of strong wind gust. Maybe some straight line winds coming in, but again, these gusts are not quite the same as they were earlier. But do anticipate a little upslope flow from Manchester in the valley up to around Mount Eagle and Suwannee and that northern part of Franklin County. Quite a bit of lightning, so it's making a bit of noise there along 64. Backing up towards Shelbyville, Murfreesboro, this is the strongest line of storms right here. There is an advisory attached to it. And again, I'll show you this advisory. This stretches till about midnight, 12:30 Eastern. But wind gusts up to around 40 miles an hour. That line is moving southeast at 30 miles an hour. So still a couple of hours from getting to the heart of our viewing area, but we'll keep an eye and see how much this holds together. But again, there's more energy out in here in this area, west of 65, than there is to the east. So over us, it's a lot weaker. So it's mainly just a bit noisy, rainy, though not as severe. Okay? So for the most part, there are no warnings out locally. I don't anticipate any warnings locally for quite a while. Again, the only watch locally is for Franklin County to 3 a.m. And I have a feeling that probably may not expand that watch. It's probably just going to keep it where it is because the severe weather has not shown signs of expanding farther east. Let me show you some of the wind damage reports from today all across our viewing area. This is not all the reports. These are just some of the reports. I'll start with the wind gusts at Lovell Field, peaked out at 62 miles an hour after around 6:16. That line of storms that rolled on by, I would estimate between 60 and 70 easily. That's why so many trees were knocked down. The tops of trees kind of blown out. You got to keep in mind when the trees are at full foliage, it's like sails on a ship. When the wind hits that, it more easily brings those trees down. So, for example, Cleveland, multiple trees down all across Cleveland, that part of Bradley County. That was around 6:15 earlier tonight. A few other reports. We'll take a look around the viewing area. Trees down in Cohutta on Appleson Road. That was around 6:22. Several reports in and around the Dalton area. Tree in a home there. A tree down this Riverbend Road in Dalton. And these are all from the earlier round of storms. In Chatsworth, sure, more trees and power lines down there. Trees down Highway 52 there near Chatsworth in Murray County. Let's move north a bit. I mentioned Cleveland with the trees down there. Let's take a look at this one. I showed this report earlier. It showed a tree down near Chickamauga Dam. That's, of course, more Hickson than it is Red Bank. And these are automatically generated. Wind gust earlier in the evening in Dunlap around 60 miles an hour. And a few others here. Trees down in Ray County that occurred around 5:30 Eastern time. So again, here's what we have right now. Nothing severe at the moment locally. And again, the strongest storms are here. We are seeing a weakening trend. So we hope that trend continues. And if it does, our main concern overnight is going to be the risk for some flash flooding in spots, not everywhere, but in spots. We still have a flood watch in effect, I believe. Yeah, ignore that through Monday morning. I'm going to take that off there. That was from the previous watch. So let me make that change live on the fly here. There we go. So there's still a flood watch out across southeast Tennessee and southwestern North Carolina. But as far as a severe thunderstorm watch, that mainly is for Franklin County. I'm going to move this back up here. And again, the rain locally is not severe. You got some good soaking downpours. Tracy City up to around, say, Grootly Lager, Monteagle, back to around Manchester. A bit noisy here with some lightning, thunder, Estill Springs, and back over Coffee County here. But again, not severe. We've seen that weekend, although it's going to be a bit noisy from Monteagle to Swanee and these areas coming up the plateau there. See a lot of folks commenting still don't have power. I totally understand that. And we look back here. There's some flood advisories here from Shelbyville. These areas back over Middle Tennessee from Murfreesboro to Shelbyville. These are the strongest storms here. This strong line holding together, but it has shown signs of weakening. So we hope that trend continues as it approaches Columbia down to Shelbyville. So we'll keep an eye on that. Again, the storms approaching our viewing area over the next hour. So it's that one. We'll see if that holds together. It's a big if right now. Farther north, again, it's going to get a bit noisy over Cumberland County. toward Crossville, but again, not. I don't anticipate a warning with that. I would be aware of any low-lying area with some flooding, but it's to make your pets a little nervous, may wake up the kids. But as long as you're inside, safe from the lightning, I think everything will be okay with those moving in. I want you to notice also these lines. This shows you the upper level steering flow, the flow at 700 millibar level. And you notice how these storms move right along that flow. So we're showing you the direction of flow these showers are going to move. Again, these are moving into an area here that is a lot weaker. That powerful line of storms we had earlier in the evening took a lot of energy out of the atmosphere. And right now, that's a good thing. If there's any benefit from the strong storms, it's bad we had trees down, bad we've had power lines down, bad we've had property damage. But the good thing is there's two things. It cooled things off. That's always welcome. Second of all, it took away a lot of the energy. That's why and I'll show this loop over the past 2 hours. If you look at this loop over the past 2 hours, notice how this leading edge was, kind of robust, and it just kind of fell apart. See that? It just ran into an area where it just ran out of fuel. Not as much storm fuel here. There's been more storm fuel back here right along 65, not as much the farther east you go. So we'll keep an eye on this activity here for Franklin and eventually Jackson County. But all of these other areas from, say, Monteagle and north and east, these are not all that strong. It's mainly rain and lightning, and that's about it. Let's see comments here. Brenda says, power still out Varnell, Beaverdale area in Whitfield County. I can only estimate, Brenda, you're asking about the wind speeds, that it was still in that 60 to 70 mile an hour range, which is pretty powerful, especially when it's all at once. It can easily bring down trees. Again, that's low end tornado, wind speed. So again, it can have damage that resembles a tornado. Most of this is straight line winds. Only small rotation areas, and we've had no affirmed reports of tornadoes. But we'll take a look, let the National Weather Service assess any damage, but most of this has been straight line wind damage. EPB power outage map. I think we've seen that the number of customers restored improved quite a bit. I think it peaked out above 10,000 customers without power. This is just in the EPB coverage area, now at about 4,000. So men and women out there working very hard tonight, getting that power restored. We appreciate what they're doing. They're still out there in the elements where it's still raining, having to deal with a lot of downed trees and having to clean up a little bit of a mess. So be patient. They're doing an outstanding job out there. And so is all the other crews with Volunteer Electric, all the other power crews around. They're working overnight to get everybody restored. So we appreciate all they do. I'm going to look over here at the updated high-res model. It's been showing a weakening trend as well, and I'll show this to you momentarily, but let me just preview it first. Make sure I don't have any bad frames on here. Let's see, weakening, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, we'll take a look at the lightning with that. Lightning flash rate down, 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 down. Okay. Let me show you the high-res model. Again, this is not a radar. It's a radar simulation, if you will. It's showing, this is about an hour from now, it shows a continuation of a weakening trend with that line coming down from the south and east. Now, we're hopeful that holds. If it does hold, then mainly rain, a little bit of lightning overnight, and just kind of dwindles down through 4 a.m. So again, we'll show it again. Activity north and west, weakening with time. This is not exactly how it's panning out, because if you look right here, I think it's missing some of the activity that's developing north of Columbia. So I think it's going to be a little more active right in here, okay? But it just shows you, again, the weakening trend is still anticipated from a modeling point of view. Now, will that actually be in reality? Well, time will tell. Let's go on past tomorrow morning. Could have a few showers south and east. And for areas east of I-75 late morning. As far as the rest of the day tomorrow, it's going to be a hot one, folks. Now, I think your higher odds of a storm are east. So I don't think it's going to be as active tomorrow as it was today. Or now that it's Wednesday, as active as it was on Tuesday. So things are a lot calmer than it was several hours ago as we were tracking those storms all throughout the afternoon and into the early evening hours. So again, notice how that model wasn't quite picking up on this activity here. It had this to this, but the weakening trend is anticipated. So we hope that's still the case, and we are still seeing that. Again, notice how this activity that was reaching the plateau. Notice this right here. And it kind of breaks up a bit. It's just running into an area with less energy. So we're getting the rain from it, less lightning rate, but not as severe. So we love that. Let's go back to Cumberland County. Yes, a little noisy north and west of Crossville, right along I-40. Right there. Not too strong. Let's take a look inside that cell for any wind gust potentials, mainly straight line winds coming through there. A little gusty at times. So there'll be more rain covering Cumberland. It might clip in the northern Ray County, northern Meigs, but what to expect? Well, you'll hear the rain creating a racket on the rooftop. Maybe a flash or two of lightning. And then farther down here, we got some brief downpours, some just up on the mountain, west of Dunlap to about Whitwell. Pretty good downpours, Tracy City, Altamont over the Skymont area. Mud Eagle, some downpours, I'm sure slowing traffic down. This is not severe, though. Lightning on the backside, but even this area in Franklin, in northern Coffee County, it's a little loud, a little noisy, though still not severe. And again, as I mentioned earlier on in this broadcast, this is the strongest line left over. There's a little more energy over in here. We'll see if that holds together. So along 65, the interstate, down to Columbia, Linville will be a little stronger, but back to Murfreesboro, not quite as strong. I mean, it's, rain and quite a bit of lightning about Smyrna to Murfreesboro, but not too bad. Not too bad. It's lighting up the sky. Again, thanks everybody for staying up late with us. If you want to get some shut eye, by all means, go ahead and do so. We're going to keep an eye on this line. I don't anticipate being on the entire night. We're just going to make sure this weakening trend holds on. But at the moment, if you want to get some shut eye, go right ahead. Be sure your location services are turned on your mobile device so that if any advisories or warnings are issued, you'll get those. If you have the Storm Track 9 app, go ahead and download it. Turn your location services on. Turn your alert tone up. You'll get that advisory. Otherwise, get some sleep. Same thing with the No Alert radio. Just be sure it's turned on. The alert signal turned up. Just have that armed. And again, get some sleep. If there's an alert, it'll wake you up. But I don't anticipate a lot. I don't anticipate it being like it was 7 or 8 hours ago. I don't. This is a bit weaker. And hopefully that calming trend will continue. There'll be some periods and pockets of heavy downpours. There'll be some periods of lightning thunder. A little noisy at times. It'll shake you up and wake you up. But I don't see this being like it was earlier. So you want a little peace of mind there. That's what we have. And I know for a lot of folks with the power out, it's dark. Doesn't make it any easier. It makes it a bit more scary. But again, hopefully the power will be restored shortly. It may take a while for some because the trees being down has left quite a mess. Quite a mess. For those of you without power, in case you missed it, the Braves did win tonight. That's some good news. Hadn't had a lot of good news for them lately. They're still in first place in the wild card. We got to keep that in mind. And hopefully some of the guys come back and the team gets a little bit healthier. Never give up. Never, ever, ever give up. Long season yet to go. Oh, and college football practice starts officially today. It's Wednesday. If you're excited like I am, it's a great day. All right. Downpours, lightning, Manchester to around Mount Eagles. A little slow going on 24, both west and eastbound there. But again, this is not severe. Let's go back over to Cumberland County. Again, got a bit more of some heavy rain moving in here just west of Crossville. So I would say downtown Crossville and areas north here, northern edge of the county, get rid of some heavy downpours, some wind gusts with it, a few pops of lightning. But again, there's no advisory with it. It's below even advisory levels. You got some rain around Cleveland. Tapping on the window pane there a little bit, but not bad. Not bad. More moderate downpours, Tracy City to Altamont. Right around Pelham, Mount Eagle. Check a few things on Twitter. If you want to join me on Twitter, you can. Go to Storm Track 9 Dave. You want to put any of your reports there, any pictures you want to show? Do it there. Or if you want to share any storm-related pictures, go to newschannel9.com and go to Chime In. You can submit your pictures there. We'll be able to share them out over social media. Just take those pictures safely. Do not put yourself in any danger. We don't want that. Let's see. Let's check an update from the Storm Prediction Center. Again, I do not anticipate any major updates they have. Let's see. Is this a new one? Okay, here's an update on our severe thunderstorm watch. Let's see. All right, so just got an update from the Storm Prediction Center, and they're basically just kind of tracking, you guessed it, this line right here. This line right here. Now, again, there's more energy, as I mentioned, right along I-65, less energy this way. So it's anticipating here that the highest bet on having more severe weather with that will move more toward the south. So we'll watch that for that area north of Huntsville, west of Franklin County. And that is also why, if I back out of this, it's the reason why they have the severe thunderstorm watch out. So that covers a large area here. And again, here is I-65 where those storms are moving. I'll put the radar up here with it. That is why, as this moves farther south, it's kind of keeping in mind that area. So it's really this corridor right here. As it drops south, it'll be more active, not as active farther south and east. But again, the only local county under that watch is Franklin County until 3 a.m. Eastern. So as we've noted throughout this broadcast, this is the strongest line of storms yet to go if that holds together moving farther east. Everything else has weakened quite a bit as it's moved in. So even that cluster of storms in Grundy, Franklin and Marion, meh, 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 it's not so bad. Lightning threat, stay inside. Don't put yourself in danger. Let's see, Maria is in Spring Hill. Want to know how much longer it's going to last? Well, Maria, let's go up to Spring Hill, shall we? You can see out there Murfreesboro over to Columbia. It is very active there. So to answer Maria's question, she asked about Spring Hill. You are right in that line of storms right now. So best to stay put there, Maria. Very heavy rain, strong wind gust. We'll take a look at the velocity scan here over Spring Hill, Tennessee. There's no severe thunderstorm warning, but there are some strong wind gusts. I would say upwards of around 40 miles an hour possible as it moves through. Moves through Spring Hill. So basically some strong wind gusts and very, very heavy rain. You'll be out of it by midnight Central. So between now and midnight Central, 1 a.m. Eastern, it'll start moving away. But it's very loud right now. That gives you an update on what's happening there. It's a straight line wind threat below severe levels. That's the reason why there's no warning out at the moment. And a lot of lightning. So I hope that answers your question. So I would say by midnight Central, you'll notice a much calmer situation there in Spring Hill, Tennessee. Again, here locally, all of this that's approached our local counties from the west is really weakened a bit. It's a little bit noisy and rain, but again, not severe. The rain that, well, for one of the lines that rolled through Dunlap, Soddy, Daisy, Sail Creek to Cleveland kind of just evaporated. So more downpours, that's about it. And there's that line approaching Pleasant Hill over to Crossville. Jen asking how bad it's supposed to get in Cleveland. Jen, I would say for the most part in Cleveland, we're looking at just what's left of this, some showers, maybe some rumble of thunder, but I don't anticipate it being too strong. As long as we continue seeing this weakening trend here, it's not going to be anything like it was 7 or 8 hours ago. So in Cleveland, some showers from time to time and what's left of these coming in from the north and west, but really I think a gradual weakening trend overnight, though we're watching it, okay? And again, notice how there's not been any new advisories issued for this line. There might still be, especially in that far tail end, because again, notice how if you look at it, this part of the line, you're starting to see more weakening going on. It's rain and lightning, but it's still feeding back here. So again, I mentioned I-65. There's more energy right here, less energy east of I-65. That's why I think it's kind of falling apart a bit. Mandy asking, will these storms make it to northwest Georgia? Yeah, I think some of the showers will, because the upper level flow does take it that way. Now, again, will they still be true storms or just some rain and lightning? I think for the most part, mainly rain and lightning. But even that's kind of breaking up the lightning threat. But I don't anticipate this being like it was several hours ago. So again, the worst threat of that is just south of immediate Metro Nashville, right just south of 840, right there. South of Franklin, we mentioned Spring Hill to Columbia. It's mainly a strong wind gust threat. But that's the stronger edge of the line. This eastern flank of the line is a lot weaker than it once was. Again, the earlier storms we had today have really zapped out a lot of energy. So we're hopeful that that weakening trend will continue. You know, always stay prepared, but of course, always hope for the best. And so far, that's what we're dealing with. We don't want to repeat what we already had. Check for a few other updates here. Let's see. Yes, Brooke, I agree. It was scary early on. I don't like, we have to broadcast it all. Doesn't mean I enjoy doing that. I don't like talking about damage and hearing about trees down and damage to homes. I don't like hearing that. But that's why we're on the air, to warn folks in advance of that, because these can develop and move quickly. And that's the reason why in our newscast and social media, we had to continue that coverage because of that. Just in case you're wondering, this green box here, that's for a flood warning. There you go. Flash flood warning over Bedford and Rutherford County. And again, we've had quite a bit of rain over the past 12 hours. And I'll show you this map here. Let's talk about the rain for a second. This is just over the past 12 hours. So the fast motion prevented it from raining too heavy for a long time. But for earlier tonight, we did have a flash flood warning out for northern McMinn County. Just to show you for an example, they had about 3 to 4 inches of rain there. And this is a radar estimate. And again, some of the downpours did last around Athens at the 2-inch mark. Tennessee, North Carolina border there, about 2.5. And around Cleveland, about 1 inch there. Yeah. But the fast motion didn't allow it to stick around long. The problem is, no matter if you have saturated ground or dry ground, when it's falling at that rate, it doesn't really soak in. It just washes off, and you get flash flooding as a result. Take a look at some of these rainfall rates here. This is where that other flash flood warning is in effect, near Murfreesboro, over to Rutherford County. Yeah, 5 inches over the past 12 hours. So repeated rounds have caused flash flooding there. But many other areas left out with hardly a drop. In fact, a large part of northeast Alabama didn't have much at all from these earlier rounds. They all kind of stayed right in here and then moved farther down to the south. Across North Georgia, with that line that blew up around 6 p.m. into the early evening. Let's see, around Chatsworth, that was around 2 inches worth. South of Ellijay, about 3. Fannin, Murray County line, about 1.5 inches. So again, with any more rain coming in overnight, just be aware in low-lying areas for flash flooding that could occur. But again, the key here is, for those of you just joining the broadcast, this is not a repeat. This is not a repeat of what it was like Tuesday afternoon and evening. It's a whole lot different. We continue to see a weakening trend with this line. It's slowed down a bit. It has been gradually weakening. Even the leading edge of this activity, there's just been a whole lot less energy. So we hope that trend continues. We got some downpours approaching Crossville. It's a bit noisy. Little lightning, thunder going on. So Crossville, then down to Crab Orchard, then off the mountain to Rockwood. You can get some downpours, but this is not severe. That'll be moving into, Van Buren County and over the Fall Creek Falls and Bledsoe County. We've had showers of the past hour across Ray County into northern Hamilton, but again, not severe, just another round of downpours. Same thing we're getting in Grundy, into Marion. So it's been slow traffic along 24 with all this rain going on. A bit more lightning west of Mount Eagle, but again, not severe. Again, the strongest of what's left is right here, but even with this line, it's nowhere near what it was like earlier. It's right along 65 where most of the energy is. So Columbia down to the Tennessee-Alabama border is probably where we have most of that activity. Being the strongest. Again, we'll keep an eye on this now moving west of Franklin County. That's in Lincoln County, Tennessee. But again, it's not severe. It's noisy, but not severe. And again, the eastern edge of this line, again, this line was very strong at one time, but all of this east of I-65 is a lot weaker. So we're just seeing general showers and lightning, but again, most of this complex of storms is falling apart. So this is not a repeat of what we had earlier on. Nowhere near that level. I mean, you got to keep in mind, it was in the mid-90s, heat index around 100, and that was like, as those storms approach with that amount of heating in advance of it, it's like lighting a match and throwing it into a vat of gasoline. That's why the storms exploded. I mean, using that analogy, that's why the storms exploded so rapidly. I mean, it's like popcorn kernels in the hot grease in the pan. They start popping up rather quickly, and moved quickly as well. A true squall line. EPB power update. Let's see what's happening here. At one point, it peaked over 10,000 customers without power, now down to 4,600. So crews are out and about, doing a great job tonight. More than half the customers have been restored with the power. Take a look at this one updated map here. What I'm doing is I'm looking at the available energy. And as I've just mentioned, I've been using the I-65 corridor here as the line of demarcation. Again, there's more energy here, but it sharply drops off. The farther east you move, it drops off. So it's just running into an area where there's just no fuel for these F1 race cars. So you've got like an automobile race going on, and it's just running out of fuel there. So just trying to give you some analogy there, but it's just like a race car running out of fuel. But that's where more of the energy is. So you'll see a little bit more of that activity there, but it's kind of shifting in that direction, south and west. So if you don't have the energy, they don't sustain. They just rain. I didn't mean to rhyme there. A lot of folks still saying they're without power. I totally understand. Hopefully you've got some backup energy source like a flashlight. I know your mobile device may be losing some power. So if you don't want to stay on the broadcast, you want to conserve the energy, I totally understand. Here's what I advise to do. For many folks just want to get some sleep. Again, there's no immediate severe threat locally at the moment. But there could still be some showers and thunder rolling through. But the severe threat's a lot lower than we had earlier on today. So you want to get some sleep, download the Storm Track 9 app first. Second, turn your location services on. Be sure your speaker alert tone's turned up so that there's an alert. You'll get it. It can wake you up. If you have no alert radio, be sure it's turned on and armed, as we say, where you can receive alerts and just, hey, go on to sleep. And those will wake you up. But right now, we're not tracking any immediate severe threat. We are tracking more rain and a little noisy out there. But again, the energy is kind of winding down a bit, and we hope it stays that way. But that earlier round of storms really zapped out a lot of the energy. In fact, I want to show you for a July night, these temperatures are already a bit below average. The average low is 71. So for many, we were all way below that. Airport always runs high. It's one of those things. But in the outlying areas, it gives you more of a representative of what our temperatures are like. So on average, we're running about 3 or 4 degrees below average in temperatures. So things are a lot cooler. I mean, look at Tellico Plains, borderlining almost into the 50s. Same in Murphy. So watch out for patchy areas of fog. But with these cooler temperatures going on during the night, it's helping calm things down a bit. There's a whole lot less energy over our atmosphere compared to areas right along and west of 65. Again, this shows you the number of wind damage reports all across our viewing area, trees, power lines down. It all originated north and moved its way south and east. Notice how Northeast Alabama really missed out. That's good. You don't want any of that, but you missed out with the storms earlier on today. Again, severe thunderstorm watch has been trimmed just a bit. Areas now south of 840 have been taken out of that watch. And locally, it only includes Franklin County till 3 a.m. Eastern. That shows you the rain today. Many gaps in that line. There were some that had some really heavy downpours. Others, not so much. The heaviest pockets were right here. Dalton, Chatsworth, and then, I'd say Dayton to Athens, Decatur, and really here towards Sweetwater, and then back west of the plateau. But many of the areas kind of left out. And here's our current live radar view, tracking two separate clusters of storms, actually three. There's one here, rain and lightning. West left of this line is weakening quite a bit. Still a lot of lightning near Columbia, but that's far to our west and dropping far to the south. Then we got rain and downpours up near Crossville. So it's a little noisy in Crossville right now. Going to be crossing 127, moving right along I-40. We'll put the velocity scan on that here. Again, we're just looking at some straight line winds with that, if that. You can see how it lines up straight up and down. So that's just some gusty winds approaching Crossville, though, again, not severe. That's the reason why you don't see any advisories out. But, neighboring areas of Ray County near Spring City and northern Bledsoe, northern Meigs, you're going to get some of these downpours with it. No doubt hearing the thunder off in the northwestern distance. Again, we got a few residual showers in Van Buren County, Warren County near McMinnville. And again, moderate to times heavy downpours really coming down now. Estill Springs, northern parts of Franklin County. Look at the velocity scan there. I'm sure it's just, some pockets of wind gusts, but again, not too strong. We'll see if it holds together. Just kind of keep in mind a flooding risk there. And quite a bit of lightning. So I'm sure if you were living in Suwannee or Mount Eagle, you can hear this on the western edge on the horizon back in the valley. So we'll keep an eye on that. And there's that line dropping farther south. Again, one new advisory just issued here. But again, this is where the energy is. Use I-65 as a guide. Here's all the energy. Less energy the farther east you go. So even though the upper level flows to the southeast, that line is dropping mainly south-southeast at 25. But that could have wind gusts around 40 miles an hour. So still below severe levels. I'd keep an eye on that for Lincoln and Franklin County, though, again, not impacting a large part of our viewing area. And then we'll keep an eye on this over Lincoln and Franklin County. Leslie said, I can't sleep without my fan. Me too. A fan and white noise. I got to have it. I can't sleep in the silence. Nope. I won't sleep a wink in the silence. I'll wake up with every little sound I hear. So I totally understand. All right. Sorry for the silence, just looking over a few things here. I just like to look over the latest updates here, see if there's anything I'm missing here. I don't believe so. No major new updates here. We are officially on the final day of July. Where did summer go? I personally like summer, so I don't want to see summer end yet. Fall will get here. It always does. I think people anticipate it more and want to rush it to get here, but it'll get here when it gets here. It always does. It's always beautiful here. Late October, early November is when we peak with the leaves. So we're still about 3 months from that. But it'll get here. How do I know this? Because it always does. I'm already seeing a lot of fall ads and pumpkin spice this and that, but it's too early for that. It's great for anticipation, but got a lot of summer yet to go. We're barely at the midway point. Still got August. Still got most of September. But with time, it'll get here. Just like when it's wintertime, I'll say summer will get here. It always does. All right. Estill Springs, Winchester, this whole part of Franklin County under severe thunderstorm watch. It's awfully noisy, but not severe. That's good. It goes over to about Lynchburg. So these cells are kind of reining themselves out a bit. Yeah, that eastern edge of this line really kind of falling apart. Notice again, very strong towards 65, but you get to 24 here, and it's just kind of really weakening quite a bit. We got rain and lightning coming in. I'd be concerned about a flooding risk overnight, but it's definitely a weakening trend going on. Not the same as it once was. And again, I'm not anticipating anything like we had earlier on today. No, Leslie, yeah, I agree. It's not. We're 3 months from Halloween, but yet, I don't know about you, but I see it all over social media. Halloween this, Halloween that. And I'm like, folks, it's a quarter of a year away. Don't rush it. It'll get here. But give it time. I want my summer. I still want my summertime. I've been busy. I haven't been to the pool in 2 weeks. So I want to relax, enjoy my summertime more. Again, Lake Tansy area, Crossfield over to Crab Orchard in Cumberland County. Rain and loud claps of thunder. But again, the rain intensity winding down a bit. Not severe. Again, watch out in Spring City. You're about to get some downpours coming off the mountain. Heavy downpours, 127 to Pikeville. But Spring City, 10 Mile, areas north of Decatur, so northern Ray, northern Meigs. You got more of that over to Roane County. More downpours coming your way. Again, moderate downpours really picking up here. Be aware any low-lying areas for a little bit of minor flooding with excessive runoff. South Pittsburgh getting some moderate downpours, really picking up now on the eastern side of the mountain. So coming down from Mount Eagle off the plateau. Moderate downpours there. That'll be starting getting into northern Jackson County. So about to get some downpours there. They may move into Dade County. But again, what? It's rain and lightning. Again, the strongest part is back here. And again, most of the energy is right here. And so it's still feeding off that. That's why it's not dissipating yet. But notice how you go east of 231 there, less energy. Loud, but less energy than here. And even with here, it's below severe levels. It's got some gusts around 40 or so. It's now moving just about south of Spring Hill, south of Columbia, over Middle Tennessee. And then locally, the most active county locally is Franklin County with heavy downpours. Let me check a few other updates here on my other social media channels. Make sure I'm not missing anybody's questions. I don't like to miss that. Nope. All right, we're approaching the top of the hour, 1 a.m. Eastern, midnight Central, as you all approach July 31st, the final day of July. And here comes August. Ooh, in August, the first few days, it's going to be hot, folks. We're seeing more of the rain spreading out. So rain getting on into Hamilton County, back through Marion. So again, let's keep in mind, flash flood watch remains in effect. With all the heavy rain we've seen today, be aware of low-lying areas and some flooding. Moderate to times heavy downpours. You can see now rain reaching Red Bank. Another shower coming in. It's good this time of night. Not much traffic on the road. We'll have some rain getting into northern Day, northern Jackson very shortly. Getting a shower already, probably near Bridgeport. But again, it's not severe. It's not severe. Christy says, watching from Franklin County, don't need to be worried. Well, the main threat right now in Franklin County is the lightning risk. Depends on where you are in Franklin County, but you can see again from west of Suwanee, quite a bit of lightning near Winchester. Estill Springs area. It's very loud, it's noisy, but it's not severe. Raining heavily between Winchester and Estill Springs and just west of Suwanee. So best advice, stay inside and just worry about that lightning threat. And it's going to be raining and lightning for quite a while. I would say for most of the next hour through 1 a.m. Central, pretty noisy out there. But it's right now below severe levels. But it will be a bit noisy. Depends on where you are in Franklin County. And farther north, with this line breaking up here, we'll have more showers coming in from Manchester, Minville. Kind of runs all together. And that'll be moving into Van Buren, more in Grundy, more rain coming in, and more rain coming into Franklin and Marion. So again, low-lying areas and flash flooding. Let's keep that in mind overnight. Flooding could be an issue. All right. I'm checking radar on one of the other views here. I'm just looking more in depth here. You can see the rain really picking up in intensity now over Marion County. So very heavy downpours there. I mentioned how, the flooding threat going to kind of worry about. As you can see, really heavy rain really picking up there. Raleigh 41, Jasper, Whitwell, South Pittsburgh, really heavy rain. So it's going to pour. Keep in mind, again, Marion under that flood watch through early tomorrow, or actually earlier today, I should say. So that flood watch remains in effect. There's what's left of that watch, just one narrow corridor of that watch left over. It's in effect for about 2 more hours. But again, it only includes Franklin County, which is getting quite a bit of activity right now with rain and lightning, but it's below severe levels. So that's how much rain's fallen the past 12 hours. And now we got 2 main areas of rain to watch. It's really kind of picked up in intensity a bit. One here in this 4-county region. It's been raining heavily for a while. And then right here, kind of sneaking into Bledsoe, eventually Northern Ray, Meigs, a large part of Cumberland County. And moving slowly south and east. There are no severe thunderstorm warnings out there. There are no flood warnings locally. The only watch locally is over Franklin County. You can see some downpours reaching near the city. Jasper, some heavy rain. Whitwell, some heavy rain. South Pittsburgh. And right here, just really loud here. Northern parts of Franklin, very active right now. Lynchburg to Estill Springs to Suwanee and Mont Eagle. And it's not severe. It's just, as I said, it's pretty loud. Strongest line left is this right here, right along I-65. Everything else farther east is just wet and noisy. But it has continued the weakening trend that I mentioned. And we've been broadcasting over an hour, talked about the weakening trend, and that trend has continued. Granted, more areas locally are seeing rain, but it's still not severe. You can see downpours now Pikeville to Crossville to Spring City. Around Rockwood, Harriman. Crossville's almost on the back edge of the rain. But do be aware of, I mentioned low-lying areas and some flash flooding. Aside from that, though, the severe threat kind of winding down a bit. Noisy, yes, but severe, no. Check a few more updates here. Let's see. Yep. Checking the EPB power outage update. The number of outages continues to drop. Again, it peaked out above 10,000 customers earlier Tuesday evening, now down to 3,700. And I know they're trying to work as fast as they can, especially with the rain moving back in. It's going to maybe slow down that progress just a bit, but we appreciate everything they do. Again, there are no advisories for any severe storms, no severe thunderstorm warnings. We just have more rain coming in, and we got to be mindful of that some of the rain may cause some flash flooding in spots, excessive runoff. Good thing not a whole lot of people traveling right now. And we still have many roads with some downed trees and limbs on the road, so want to be careful tonight. Let's take it easy. Stay inside. Let these storms wash out and move on through. All right, folks, we're going to wrap up this broadcast for now. It's just after 1 a.m. And again, we'll keep an eye. Do anticipate there'll be some rain and lightning. This is not going to be a repeat of what we had earlier Tuesday. It's a gradual weakening trend. You may hear some loud claps of thunder, especially Franklin, Grundy, Marion, even northern parts of Jackson County. Some of what's left of that may creep into parts of Hamilton and even Sequatchie. There'll be occasional downpours, but eventually this is all starting to weaken. So we'll continue to watch that. If there is a change in this, we'll have another live update. Okay, but for now, we'll close out this broadcast, restart one if we need to, but we'll have other updates on our social media pages as well to keep you up to date. But thanks so much for watching, and have a safe night. Ryan Gold will be here on Good Morning Chattanooga in a few hours for a live broadcast, which also broadcasts on newschannel9.com. I'll still be here watching things and providing more social media updates if necessary. Okay? We're here for you, folks. Thanks so much. Have a great night. Stay safe.